Another day, another story. Life Enhancement by Srinivasan Chari. Culture's effects. Groups, organizations, or segments of a population are impacted by culture. It resembles how a person behaves. A group's culture is its shared set of ideals and principles, which manifest themselves in fairly uniform behavioral patterns. Every culture has some universal characteristics, such as the love a mother has for her child. Others, such as the German's thoroughness, or the Japanese's modesty, are unique to particular populations or nations. As we mature, we assimilate the culture around us, and it shapes who we are. Knowing our origins helps us understand ourselves better, as well as how people from other cultures have developed with different fundamental aspirations. The cultures of entire nations have been examined on a macro level. There are various ways to examine an organization's culture on a broad scale. We will quickly review both cultural levels, how each country's citizens live. We'll examine workplace culture, because that's what we want to do. We can determine what's happening by examining 4 factors. When you consider it from a psychological perspective, this is how a boss and a subordinate differ. Indian children were not permitted to sit with adults when they lived in large groups, even when they were older. Employees in paternalistic workplaces frequently view their supervisors as father figures and turn to them for advice, correction, kindness, and even punishment. In America, relatively, people are much less formal, and treating parents like buddies is commonplace. In the workplace and on the shop floor, people can now address one another by their first names. It's critical to understand how this cultural factor will affect a management process or program, such as management by objectives (MBO). Before implementing it, the subordinate will initially agree with whatever the boss says, if there is a lot of distance between them, in order to exit an uncomfortable situation as soon as possible. Since people can't always express their true feelings, it is unlikely that the activities will be effective. The subordinate feels close enough to the boss to be open and honest. When the gap between them is smaller, he can negotiate fairly and discuss issues calmly and objectively. Because of this, it's crucial to develop programs that foster interpersonal harmony in order for personnel activities to succeed. How to do it in steps. Kids were once left alone in the fields and forests for a few weeks. As a teaching method in our gurukuls, he or she had to rely on their own abilities. So, they had to learn the hard way of survival. The American soldier is given detailed instructions on how to survive in the jungle before being left there for a while. The exact same thorough training is given to every soldier. In some nations, employees receive extremely thorough manuals and precise, step-by-step instructions at work, which leaves no room for innovation or creativity. Germany is one country where this is accurate. In other places, such as Southeast Asia, there are only general laws, but people still function effectively and productively because they understand how to rely on one another. It is obvious that a person is just a machine when work instructions are so detailed. The main idea is the fear of making a mistake. But as long as he or she did their part well, he can rest assured that they will never bear responsibility for a poor outcome. Despite not having written instructions, the group performs admirably. On the other hand, those who are able to work independently and take pride in their work are capable of producing amazing things. It resembles having a family in some ways. One can use these suggestions to improve his or her work and management style. Individual versus group. In some cultures, A person's value is determined by what they have accomplished, their financial situation, or the position they hold. Things that demonstrate someone's success, like a country house or a yacht, are highly valued by people. Big things are being said about him or her. The media always enhances their appearance. He or she resembles a story more than a real person, therefore. Even worse, he or she might start to believe that they are superior to others. They are constantly looking for a leader to take the reins. Hitler's inability to control the country as a whole is a very sad example. On the other hand, not many people may be aware of the leadership of the enormous Japanese conglomerate known as Mitsubishi or such like. Japanese traditions used to prioritize the group over the individual. Everyone is committed to the group's success, rather than their own personal development. People who join a group quickly ascertain its primary objective. As soon as possible, multinational corporations or groups of individuals from various cultures need to comprehend these differences and make plans for them. Thanks for watching.